Yeah, good morning, everyone. We will start the program when all the invitees join, okay, which will be in a while. So may I request everybody to keep yourself muted, okay? Good morning to all the participants. We will start the program in a while when Ma'am Agatha joins us. So TTC, one of the invitees is here already. Welcome, sir. Okay. I request all the participants to keep themselves muted all throughout. All right, so we have been joined with Madam Agatha. She's joined, so we can start the program. See, a very good morning to you all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to today's World Environment Day program organized by the Department of Environment, Don Bosco College, Tura. The theme for World Environment Day 2021 is ecosystem restoration. Planet, people can only be healthy as the ecosystem we all depend on. We need to understand the situation we are in is serious, but there is always something that every one of us can do to restore the ecosystem, and each one of us can make a difference. Bringing degraded ecosystem back to life increases their benefits to society and biodiversity. Our future is only secure when we have a healthy recovery. Ecosystem restoration creates livelihood opportunities. Hence, to encourage the student of Don Bosco College, Tura, in reviving ecosystem, by their inspiring messages, the college has invited eminent personalities of our society who have played crucial roles in the betterment of our natural environment. We are honored to have with us today, Madam Agatha K. Sangma, the Honorable MP, who herself is an environment enthusiast. Also, we are privileged to have Sir TTC Marak, who is a great inspiration to all the youths of the region. We are also very happy to have Professor O.P. Singh, who has also been my supervisor in my research and has achieved great heights in the field of environment. This year's theme will be successful only if there is people's participation. Ecosystem can only be revived if every stakeholders are included and engaged in every aspect of planning. Stakeholders' engagement is essential to sustain the success of the restoration project. Therefore, To learn the various challenges by the stakeholders, we have invited Sri Grebar Sonio CH Marak, Achu Abal Manda Sangma, and Sri Simpodi Sangma to share the experiences in their respective occupation. Also, we have James A. Sangma, our very own student from the college, to share his concerns over the deteriorating environment. May I now request Father Bivan Rodriguez Mukim to deliver a welcome address to our invitees and participants.
Thank you, Dr. Aksana. A very good morning to everyone and a warm welcome to this online celebration of World Environmental Day 2021. At Don Bosco College, we have recreated the theme of this year's World Environmental Day celebration to ecosystem restoration through stakeholders. As we begin this program, we would like to specially welcome Srimati Agatha K. Sangma, the Honorable Member of the Parliament, who will give us a special message and encourage our students to have great love for the Mother Earth. Dear students and participants, I would like to say that Srimati Agatha K. Sangma has been always a pillar of support to the Don Bosco College Tura for such noble programs as this. I recall to mind the World Environmental Day celebration in 2018 when Srimati Agatha K. Sangma was the chief guest. She delivered a beautiful message and also planted a sapling in the college. She flagged off the plantation drive undertook by the students of the college. Srimati Agatha Sangma is a right person to speak on the environment, having specialized herself in environmental management at the University of Nottingham, UK. Thank you, Madam. We appreciate your kind gesture to be with us during this year's celebration of World Environmental Day. I sincerely thank and appreciate the presence of Sri TTC Marak IFS retired and the chairman of the State Environment Impact Assessment Authority, Government of Meghalaya. Sir, in spite of your busy schedule, you have made it a point to be with us this morning. It shows your great love for the Don Bosco College Tura, and more importantly, your love towards safeguarding the environment and teaching the younger generation of our time, of our students, to imbibe the spirit of respecting the environment. A warm welcome to you, sir, and thank you for being part of this celebration. We are privileged to have with us Professor O.P. Singh, noted academician from the Department of Environmental Studies, Northeastern Hill University, Shillong. Dear Professor Singh, thank you so much for being present with us this morning and for sharing your expertise with the students of Don Bosco College Tura. We appreciate your sacrifices to be with us. Thank you, Professor O.P. Singh. We deeply appreciate the presence of the stakeholders who will be sharing their valuable messages with the students. Thank you, Sri Gribor Sonia C.H. Marak, the Forest Guard, Forest Department, Government of Meghalaya, Sri Abal Mandal Sangma, Nokma of Romba Adingre, Sri Simpo D. Sangma, a farmer, and Sri James A. Sangma, a student of Don Bosco College Tura. All the stakeholders will be sharing about their fields of expertise in relation to the environment. Thank you all and a warm welcome to this program. As I welcome you all to the celebration of the World Environmental Day 2021, I cannot but express my deepest appreciation to the Department of Environment, Don Bosco College Tura. Leading the team of young and dedicated assistant professors is Dr. Aksana Nia C.H. Marak, the head of the Department of Environment, Don Bosco College Tura, and the mastermind behind this celebration. Along with her is Sri Sojoran Hajong and Srimati Chechi C.H. Sangma from the Department of Environment. Joining along with them is the program officer of the NSS, Sri Biman Tesil Sangma, and also the from the NCC of Don Bosco College, Tura. I would like to welcome all of them and thank them for working together to make this program possible. A big appreciation to the department. I would like to place on record my deepest gratitude to the computer support team of the college for all the computer arrangement to make this program a success. I would like to welcome all the participants and in particular the final semester students of Don Bosco College, Tura. They have been studying about the environment, and I wish that they be transformed to become people who have high regards for the environment. Here at Don Bosco College, Tura, we give topmost priority in maintaining a clean and green environment. Just to give you an example, in March last year, 2020, we had the green audit conducted by the Meghalaya State Pollution Control Board, the MPCB. It was found that the sulfur dioxide and the nitrogen dioxide presence in the college campus is so less compared to the allowable limit. For example, the allowable limit for sulfur dioxide is 80, while the test report shows that the presence in the college is only 2.0. So too with nitrogen oxide, which is only 4.5 as compared to the allowable limit of 80. By doing so, we wanted to imbibe in our students the responsibility of loving the planet Earth. The college has adopted 5 villages under the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. And through this project, the students, whether they are the NSS volunteers or the NCC cadets of the college, play a pivotal role in taking forward the different environment programs in those adopted villages. Having said that, I once again welcome all of you to the celebration of the World Environmental Day 2021. May this program help us to have love and respect towards the environment that has provided so much for each one of us. Welcome and have a wonderful program.
Yeah, thank you, Father, for the beautiful and inspiring message. The program would not have taken a form without your presence and support. Our first invitee for today's program need no introduction. It is my privilege and an honor to share a screen with Madam Agatha K. Sangma, our Honorable Member of Parliament. Madam Agatha is a nature lover. Her passions include environment and wildlife. Her environment-friendly nature has inspired and amazed us all. Apart from many degrees and awards she has received, she also holds a master's degree in environmental management from the University of Nottingham, United Kingdom. A well-educated in the field of environment and an admirable leader would now deliver a message to us all. Madam Agatha, can we have you on screen, please?
Can you hear me? All right. Hello?
Yeah, yes, madam, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, a very good morning to everybody. Respected Father Mukim, the principal of Don Bosco College, Tura, Mr. T.C.C. Marak, who is the chairperson of the State Environmental Impact Assessment Authority, Meghalaya, Professor O.P. Singh from Nehu, Shillong, all the honorable, respected faculty members, and all my dear students and dear friends. First of all, I would like to thank Don Bosco College for inviting me and for including me into this wonderful program and allowing me to share my brief message today. I would like to start with a very special proverb that has inspired and influenced me for a very long time. It is a Native American proverb. I quote, "The earth is not something that we inherit from our ancestors, but it is something that we have borrowed from our children," unquote. The reason why this this proverb is so important to me and something that has always given me a sort of a perspective in the way that we should engage with our planet is because it makes you understand that we actually are just keepers in a way to, it is our duty to actually just pass on the environment as intact as possible to our future generation. And that is the main responsibility of each one of us today. And when we borrow something, I guess what happens is that it is a thumb rule that we are supposed to give it back as intact as possible. And right now, if we look at how humanity has been treating the environment or has been treating the ecosystem, it is so evident that that is not what has been happening. Ever since we had the agricultural revolution, industrial revolution, it has only led to degradation of the environment. And it's a very anthropocentric way of treating, the environment. We feel that we own it, and we feel that everything that has been uh, you know put on this planet or is alive today is for human consumption. And really we need to change that perspective, and we really need to rethink about the way that we engage with our planet and with our ecosystem. So this is a very short, duration that in which I'm going to be delivering my message. And whereas the topic today is extremely vast, and there are so many aspects to environmental protection, there is so many aspects to restoring our environment. And today, I guess, when we think about stakeholders, each one of us, you, me, we are all stakeholders when it comes to our environment. And very innocently, the future generation are also stakeholders. And sadly, they do not have a say in what, kind of a future we will be leaving behind for them. So therefore, it's very important that today we rethink the way we are treating our environment, the way we are interacting with our environment, and what kind of the ecosystem are we leaving behind for our future generation. So I would just like to point out two things, mention just 2 points. First of all, in my view, the way to help restore the ecosystem for our future generation and for the sake of all the stakeholders, firstly, most importantly, is afforestation. There is no, there's no two-way about it. It's very, very important that we work towards planting more trees, restoring our forests, and increasing the forest cover in our planet. Meghalaya today is, if you look at the statistics, it says 76.44% of our state area is under forest. And in terms of forest cover, we rank number 4. And it seems to be a very good sort of ranking. But I think we still, in our state, need to consider many factors that are leading to destruction of our forests. There are many practices that we need to reconsider. For instance, chum cultivation. There are many times when developmental projects take over a priority, and a lot of forest lands are cleared for it. So it is very, very important that as a state, as individuals, we work towards restoring our forests and to protecting our forests. Because I feel that restoring and protecting the restoring our forests is not something that is just helping humanity in terms of increasing oxygen supply, in terms of creating safe habitats for our biodiversity, both flora and fauna. It is also something that helps restore and recharge our water tables. So I think the most important thing today when we talk about restoring ecosystem is to ensure that our forests are being restored, because it has multiple benefits, and there is really no two way about seeing the benefits of that. Number 2, I would say, is we need to become more conscious consumers. I think today we live in a world of consumerism where everything is about consumption, and we really do not think about the ecological footprint of what our consumption patterns are leading to. And therefore, there is a very basic and a simple mantra reduce, reuse, and recycle. And I think that today's young generation, especially the students here today, I would like to ask of you to always, think before you consume various products that are, being offered to you in the market. Think about what is the ecological footprint of that product. Think about how you can reduce, how you can reuse, and how you can recycle. When you talk about reduction, I think it's very important that we consume products that seem to have the least impact on the environment. Today there is a big market for organic foods, and I think in Garo Hills we are extremely lucky because we can consume locally grown vegetables and fruits, which are by default, organic, and we must encourage that. We must create a market, we must create a demand for organic and safe products, pesticide free products, and as much as possible locally grown products, because that also encourages our economy, that also helps our economy prosper. And it's very important that we support that sort of a system. When we talk about reduce, I think it's very important to understand that it's not always about quantity. It's not always about having so many things to own, etc. Sometimes quality is way more important. In fact, most of the times quality is way more important than quantity. And I would encourage all the students who are present here today to always look for products which are more sustainable and which have a long lasting uh, shelf life. And therefore it would amount to sort of encouraging, not just buying products and consuming which would just sort of end up in dump yards and become make our landfill sites overcrowded. And as all of you know, I mean, plastic is such a horrible product. It takes over 100 years for a plastic to decompose. And really, our earth, our ecosystem cannot take that burden anymore. So it's very, very important that we try and use products which are easily, decomposable, nature based, which are not synthetic. And I know it's a very difficult choice, but I think where there is a will, there is a way. And if you choose to buy products that are more sustainable, in the long run, it's something that will benefit our environment and therefore benefit each one of us. Uh, Thirdly, it's about recycling. And I think wherever possible, we should try and recycle. And I have had a word with our administration about creating recycling units here in Tura itself. And I've been wanting to work on this, but sadly we had this pandemic, and MP Lads, the MP scheme that we get from the government of India, has been stopped for 2 years. But if that wasn't the case, one of my plans was to create recycling units in all the district headquarters so that people could come and leave their plastic waste there. And those plastic waste could be used for things like construction of roads, which are already being done by our state government. But it would just help engage people. It would help people become, part of the whole solution. And the only thing they would have to do is collect their plastic waste and come one fine day and just leave it there. It would just make it a lot more easier for administration to take that plastic waste and create other things from it. For instance, roads. For instance, there are some toilets which have been made by recycled plastic material. So I mean, these are just some ideas. And I think I don't want to go too much in depth into other aspects of restoring our ecosystem. I think these are the two main important things, in my opinion, for now, that we can do as stakeholders to restore our ecosystem. One is to be as actively involved in afforestation, plant as many trees, join all the tree plantation drives, and be vocal about protecting our forests and environment. And secondly, to just become a more conscious individual. At our individual, what can we do in order to protect our environment is a very, very important and a relevant question. And if we are able to address it at our individual level, it is going to be scaled up, and becoming conscious and responsible citizens will go a long way in helping restore our ecosystem. So I would only like to say these few words, and I would like to end my short message by a quote, which is Mahatma Gandhi's quote. It says, "Live simply so that others may simply live." Thank you very much. And I wish all of you a very happy World Environment Day. Please take the top opportunity to plant a tree today. Do something that, that will help restore our ecosystem. And of course, the pandemic is going on. So please be very, very careful while you do so. If you're going for a tree plantation, make sure you wear your masks, make sure you're maintaining social distancing, and that you sanitize and wash your hands regularly. So with these few words, again, I thank Don Bosco College for having me here today, for organizing this wonderful program. And I look forward to all the wonderful speakers who will be speaking after me and to listen to what they have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam, for the wonderful message. That was very inspiring indeed. I cannot agree more with you that we borrowed the earth from our children. Let's hope that we give back to them what rightfully is theirs. Our next invitee is Sir TTC Marak. He is the first IFS officer among the Garo community. He retired as the Principal Chief Conservator of Forest, Government of Meghalaya. He is the President Chairman of State Environment Impact and brought up in a hilly town of Tura, which was then surrounded with many trees and sufficient forest cover, has a great experience with practical knowledge on the maintenance of forest and environment, as well as enforced the rule and regulations through the government machinery. Sir, can I have you on screen and request you to share your message with the students? Sir TTC Marak.
Thank you, Dr. Aksana. Father Bivan Rodrigues Mukim, Ma'am Agatha K. Sangma, Professor O.P. Singh, faculty and students of Don Bosco College, ladies and gentlemen, I thank the authorities of the Don Bosco College for giving me this opportunity. The word ecosystem was first coined by A.G. Tansley, who said that it is the interaction between organisms and the environment. We have the forest ecosystem, the grassland, the tundra, the desert, and the aquatic ecosystems. Why is ecosystem important? Now I'm telling all this because there are a lot of students. It provides habitat to wild animals and plants. It promotes food chains that shows interdependence. It controls the ecological process, the different trophic levels. It is involved in nutrient cycling between biotic and abiotic components, the living and non-living. It helps also in energy flow, including the carbon cycle, the oxygen, the nitrogen, water, and so on, apart from conservation of soil, wildlife, etc. Now, under the UNDP Sustainable Development Goals, many of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals are connected with ecosystem. For example, the climate action, life below water, life on land, and so on. Today, our topic is ecosystem restoration, which means something damaging has happened to our ecosystem. The word restore are two words, re and store. That means giving back to what was there in store already. The UNDP gave a call which says the world must deliver on its commitment to restore at least 1 billion degraded hectares of land in the next decade to tackle climate crisis, save species from extinction, and secure our future. the United Nations gave this call. Now, primary forests or the original forests have given way to agriculture, urbanization, mining, and other land uses. Our forefathers used land only for their needs. However, this commercialization, even the plantations like rubber, cashew nut, tea, pineapple, all of them, they bring a lot of cash economy, but at the cost of eco-degradation. The word restoration denotes bringing up the ecosystem to its near original condition. The concept of the use of land in the Bible was that it was a stewardship concept, which means ultimately God is the owner. We are only stewards or managers of the resource. In the midst of cyclones, floods, water scarcity, habitat degradation, desertification, it seems that eco-restoration is the only answer. Our springs, streams need to be preserved. Protection and afforestation of the traditional village forests need to be done. Let us come to the stakeholders. Now, I want to give an example of some college students and their projects. In one area, successful student ecosystem restoration projects included protection and replanting of spring beds, creeks, and degraded forests restoration, eradication of invasive species, replacing degraded areas with native species, rainwater harvesting, monitoring pond and lake habitats for biological oxygen demand, pollution, etc. Let me tell you, long time back when I was a DFO, we had the Tura Peak afforestation program, and we started this with ADRA, the Asama Dingsuma Rangsaljong Association, an NGO, which has borne fruit. And every World Environment Day, groups of people from ADRA volunteers carried seedlings to plant in Tura Peak. And then forests came up. Our first chief minister, Captain Williamson Sangma, was a visionary and was instrumental in setting up the Balpakram National Park and the Nokrak National Park. It was his vision to convince the Nokmas that you should part with this land, because ultimately this is going to preserve your rivers, it is going to preserve your streams. The traditional heads or Nokmas are also a very important stakeholder. Once Nokma Council took up the traditional medicinal plants plantation, a project which wanted to encourage continuity of traditional medicine, which have been dying out. We have other stakeholders like the NERCOM, the Northeastern Region Community Resource Management Project for upland areas, the MBDA, the Meghalaya Basin Development Authority, the BACDIL, and others, organizational NGOs, which are also stakeholders. As students, your learning about environment and ecology will bear fruit only when you put them into practice. I have planted in my own compound fruit and flowering trees. I have cinnamon, bay leaf, low-chilling apple trees, as well as a small kitchen garden. On this occasion of World Environment Day, I want you to take up sustainable projects like short gestation crops, medicinal and aromatic plants. Adopt villages where eco-restoration by native water conserving plants can be planted. Just see, in 5 years' time, you will see forests coming up. Unfortunately, many of our clan or community-owned lands are now being changed to moneyed people commercializing monoculture. There's always a difference in monoculture and polyculture, and forests are definitely a polyculture. Interventions are also required to manage soil erosion and silt flow, regulate mining to reduce environmental degradation. The practice of slash and burn agriculture can be reduced by providing alternative employment opportunities like handicrafts, processing minor forest produce like bay leaf, broomstick, honey production, fisheries, and horticulture, which people are already doing. And grassroots level organizations like self-help groups have been effective in working out alternative livelihood strategies. Now, in the midst of lockdowns, because of COVID-19 pandemic, ecosystem restoration can be a game changer for all of us. We really need organic food and vegetables to build our immunity levels, which is lacking nowadays, and people are just rushing for industrial oxygen, medical oxygen, and so on. We need fresh oxygen from trees to give our lungs a boost of fresh air. Medicinal plants and other plans of eco-restoration, conservation of springs for drinking water, and so on. I want to end my brief speech by saying, may this World Environment Day with the theme, eco-restoration, ecosystem restoration through stakeholders, bring in a new awareness in our mindset, and let us start our program now, because it is said, action without delay is the secret of efficiency. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Your knowledge is impeccable, and we all have a lot to learn from you. Thank you for throwing light on the importance of the role of stakeholders in ecological restoration. Thank you so much, sir. We have now the message from Professor O.P. Singh. Dr. Singh is a professor in the Department of Environmental Studies, Northeastern Hill University, Shillong. He has a vast experience of working in different states of Northeastern region of India. He has also supervised students leading to the award of PhD degree in environmental sciences. Some of the areas of interest of Professor Singh include environmental assessment and monitoring, natural resource accounting, and rehabilitation of degraded areas. He has also worked as a jury and expert in the subject area and as an environmental advisor for the National Green Tribunal. May we now have the message from Sir Singh.
Dear students and learned faculty members of Don Bosco College, Surat. It gives me immense pleasure to participate in the celebration of World Environment Day 2021 organized by your college. We are passing through a very difficult phase of COVID-19. Many areas of our state are under lockdown. And under this situation, the Don Bosco College has decided to organize World Environment Day. It is a matter of credit. And therefore, I would like to compliment the principal of the college, faculty members, and students involved in organizing this program, and all the participants for their keen interest in environmental protection and conservation. This year's theme of World Environment Day is ecosystem restoration. And it is special. This year's World Environment Day is special in the sense that United Nations is going to launch a 10-year-long program of protection and revival of ecosystems, and the program will be called Decade of Ecosystem Restoration. It will run during 2021 to 2030. And many activities will be undertaken during this 10 years of time for the improvement of our environment. The first World Environment Day was celebrated in 1974. So during last four to 5 decades, we have achieved many things. We have created a lot of awareness among the people about environment. Many subjects related to environment are being taught, starting from the school level up to master's degree or PhD. Researches are going on to increase our understanding of environment and its functioning. Various institutions in governmental and non-governmental sectors have been established for dealing environmental issues. Environmental concerns are being now integrated in developmental projects, and we are moving towards using renewable energy resources like wind and solar. However, at the ground, reality is very different. During this period of 4 to 5 decades, unfortunately, we have polluted more our environment. We have polluted more our water bodies, our atmosphere, and our land and soil. The river water, which used to be potable and drinkable 50 years ago, now has become highly polluted, and we cannot use that water directly. Even the rivers, which we consider sacred and holy, have not been spared. We have added, and you know that what is the status of or condition of Ganga and Yamuna and other rivers of our country. We have added millions of tons of noxious gases in our atmosphere, and breathing clean air in urban area is a luxury. Our land and soil have become highly degraded, and its fertility has gone down. We have destroyed thousands of square kilometers of forest area in the name of development. Climate change, a consequence of burning of coal and other fossil fuel, is a new threat to humankind. All these have affected not only the human beings, but also the plants and animals of this planet. Even our economic development is going to hamper due to environmental degradation. Under the present circumstances, the theme ecosystem restoration decided by United Nations Environment Programme is highly relevant. While concluding my message, I would like to suggest a few simple measures, particularly to young generation, that will help in improving the environment. That please do not wait for government or any other organizations to solve the environmental problems. As an individual, we belong to this planet, and therefore it is our duty to improve the environmental condition. Please take place to use resources, whether it is water, electricity, petrol, diesel, food items, clothes, forest resources, etc., in a judicious manner. Do not waste them, even if you have sufficient money to buy them. If you are using less resources, you will generate less wastes and pollutants. Avoid using non-biodegradable products such as plastic and polythene. Avoid hunting of wild animals. Plant and nurture at least few trees wherever possible. Avoid littering and do composting of your kitchen and garden waste. These steps may appear trivial, but if we all do, then collectively it will go a long way in saving our environment. Saving environment is in our interest. There is a phrase in Sanskrit, Prakriti Rakshati Rakshita, means nature protects us if we protect her. If we don't protect, then nature will harm us, and that is happening nowadays. At the end, I must thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity to share some of my thoughts with you. I wish you all a meaningful World Environment Day 2021. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Singh, for your wonderful message and for widening our knowledge on the theme. Now let's move on to the second part of the program, where we have interacted with various stakeholders. Communication with the stakeholders offer greater opportunities to contribute directly to the system's development, as well as policy and program development. Ecosystem can only be restored only when we get to the grassroots level and make lines of communication more open and transparent. Looking at the importance of forest cover, the government reserves portions of state lands where commercial harvesting of wood products is excluded, and land is protected for the conservation of the forests. These are known as the state reserve forests. These forests are under the surveillance of forest guards who works day and night towards the protection of ecosystem. What it takes to conserve biodiversity at the ground level is very different from the jargon of today's conservation science. Let's hear it from Brebar Sonio, a forest guard in Forest Department, Government of Meghalaya.
Meghalaya Sokhario, Forest, Bab Brungunko, Erpani, Kamko, Kaingo, Mayrang, Nikanira, Coach Ruachu, Aruba Maikai, Meghalaya Sokharini, Dungaman Brungun, Erpunagata, Kampo Kaingatsu, Yako, Adita, Danapatnagata, Skia, Singam. Meghalaya Sokharini Dungaman Burung Bulgrim Ko, Bunagata Kamako Kaino, Tinga, Salwan 24/7 Kamako Kaina, Aru Kamako Kanyo, Aruni Rukanirango, Banga Ninikanirankoba, Sagrumanirankomana, Burungona, Riani, Bolranko, Chalbranko, Nirkingon, Basakoba Championirankotakon, Basakoba, Tinga, Tinko, Dagrang Planirankoba. Basakoba Chagrunga Aro Basakoba de Gomani Gariranko Hermanio Cinco Dagrang Plan Aruba Runranchi Guanirankoba Basakoba de Tinga Manna Tinga Michael Punganiranko the King Tinga Jedapodi Atsika Sumo Nami Burung Bulgrumran Jikun Meghalaya Sulkari Kangidu Manahachim Uko Tinga Bunagata Kamranko Kaingon Tinga Aruba Tutun Gapa Burankoba Tinga Gidapinga Andiba Gidapinchum Omangba Sumno Separango Minchum Wangodi Werango Sumni Manderang Machuranko Kaino Stokaska Aruba Baga Biabrankon Ra Sikaniranko No Burung Bulgunko PE Bari Baganrang Dakaniranko Aru Nokrup Noktakaniranko Nagata Mana Lagan Antuni Burung Bulgumram Longin Komi Yangro Roya Any Anting Nik Nagadamana Antuni Burung Bulgumram Komi Inchma Odi Anting Chi Atunering Ba Chirang Chiring Chibiskramba Bang Roro Nagata Manska Unigiven Anting Jedapodi Antuni Sumo Nam Guppa Aruba Ruruba Burung Junko Watena Nagda Ansen Nami Tinga Z Sugario Kamka Gabasan Yakor Pungaina Tananjawa and the Bant Sakantini Kamanwa Antun Sakantian Burung Rumko Nami Ripunagata Nam Chumota Jedapodi Antuna Nam Guppa Wedarankoba Managda Amgin Banga Sumayon Burung Bulgumranko Sui Ruanirankoba Antung Nagdamana Yes we Ruanirangara Tuntun Gapa Buranko Kami Weranko Siata Nakita Roro Nagata Manja Tinga ya Burungranko Al Kamaniranko Champing Nagata Solkarini Gimen Ding Ding Wal Kamadani Bochuranko Zakale Kamadaniranko Dakinga and Deba Walrang dan Lee Tunta Howdy Yanko Kamatnagaba Nega. When you give an amul like the star, Jada Body and sing Sumo, Durumbu Grumrang Nami Slee, Dum Nagatamagin. When you give an answering Durumbu Grumrakobaska, Kang Subi Rojana. Araba Sumayon, Dal Kapaburanko. state raise up oration ko ba chawi wata tanirang ko amching nag namana gari ni gari amching ni namnam gapa bulrang ko chawi wata tanirang ko nag namana aru yerang ko rumani ba chinga blongin dignikanirang ko mana maina chinga manderang bangja ni gemen memang chawu barang mandi bang gin chungong di chungko dagrang planirang ko chinga chagrungwa burung bulgumada ba raise up ni bulrangara chinga surkario kam khagpanasan unja ariban antinan antini salantio jangi thanganina namgappa aruba anchingnya rangsti jangi thangna matninggappa oxygen ko ongappa uwa daururo somayo anchingna kapna kadamana maina burung bulgumar komi yang ingani gemen anchingni asungoba balwarakanirang makawa tikung gizanirang ingani ko anchingna kadamana unigeman hai sabantian anching 아드사고 장이 당인 거 사반티안 안층 옥시즌 그나와 우리게만 안층 옥시즌 거 뭘로 아우니 그만나 우리게만 안층 뭘로 아고 여러분나 아니 아마 사반티콘 뭘 나겠다 그시오와
Thank you, Sri Grebar Sonio, for protecting our ecosystem and saving our lives. You are indeed the unnoticed hero. You are doing a commendable job, and you have all our respect. We all know the role of traditional heads in our society. We have strong traditional institutions that play a very vital role in governance of natural resources of the state. The Nokma play a very important role in any land-based activity, particularly shifting cultivation, as he is the sole authority to distribute the community land to the villages. We have with us today Achu Abal Manda Sangma, Nokma of Rumba Adengre. It is to be noted that his akang is in the foothills of Nokrek Peak. Achu has also been awarded with a certificate of appreciation for taking up various environment and conservation activities, soil and land protection, supporting afforestation initiative, protection of water catchment areas, and guiding the community towards taking up eco-friendly agriculture and livelihood activities by the district administration, West Garo Hills, under the REDD+, that is reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation project. Let's hear from Achu Abal himself about the activities being carried out under his leadership.
Abal Sangma, Nokma, Rumba Adengre. Sotok kriu iba, sotok pongau Nokma kata. Angin iba tinggal di Nokun korbekan ongai tum, tawara antili nomor kemudian ricasa apa? Nokun ricasa. Jadi abang ni bicara orang juga ni, tunggu di tunggu yang ni, mungkin tunggu mana? Ya, jual ni juga. Ini bang, mamu di saya, barang. Ada tunggu tu, kalau ada tunggu ni mana? Jangan ada tunggu. Kalau di mesti doa tu, tunggu tu. Dia orang berkumia jadi yang kalau di barang pemumarang petunggu jadi dongnya. Wah, awak dia tinggi dunia itu dia pakai sungmi kanga. Kalau dia perlu ditawar, panci bisa mandi nak juga barang. Ingin mana ikut di dunia, jadi sungmi kem. Ada orang dia cantik di doang, sasak di doang, kalak di doang, palak di doang, cakal di doang, mandal di doang. Công tác nó trong hàng thông á, kinh trạng thông mức thằng đi ada thằng thông lúc thằng á, xong đi xong đi đúng á, không có định đi cô mani chinga tahu iku bayan bayi dongai nga dia mesti rapi dona iku udi mandi sigen bisa pun mama bolen ku yun mandi sia kangdel bataya ni pun rapi dona wari hangu bagi nak menjija ku kanga sasat pol ambi wari rokbra jadi nak tuk tak ada donga sungni kita dona jadi jongjang irungka wari kangjo di sungni mandrang sekarang tak kajen niam dona Mengko daimi kodi haji sakodi ajal bunga kamna nangen joko dapat kantong jok sobe jualan ke tak barang ni nukmo singa ni pun bukan men tak tangan ni dah tahu mangki mai ba tak kodi nam ke chum chang
Ang Meghalaya Sulkhariyo for it.
Thank you, Achu, for setting an example for us and sharing your age-old knowledge with us. It is indeed a blessing to us all. If the ecosystem degradation continues, farmers are the first to feel the effects of it. Weather extremes are damaging farmers' livelihoods, harming yields, and pushing up costs. We will have a sound and healthy environment only if we have food security and a fertile soil. Our efforts to restore the ecosystem will have to focus on the restoration efforts across all sectors. For agrarian countries like ours, the task will be to take into account the challenges faced by our farmers. Let us try and learn the threats our farmers face in our region. We have with us today Sri Simpo Sangma to share his perspectives on deteriorating environment.
Kami di muka simpul di Sangma mga angar mbak tulis sama orangnya kami carinya. Tahun ini kita kami coba bikin singa kami carinya dengan ba ini sirang yang kukumyangnya. Mana selna asal dongjan sel orang burung dongjan sel mereka na samlang dak play dekat ini kita ini sirang mirang ba ode sekarang gapa pura casa Semua sudah pekan berapa? Kalau sekarang cibungan macam itu, dengan apa usaha ubah thodi angjan ini mana ada bijarang kuba jadi saingan, tahu sisa mat beri yang kita doang, barang tu cepat lebar ada iset kepung nak cakap ni kontennya, इसमें जो jangan investment macam orang itu jeleknya, orang itu cuma jadi itu jelas kan semua bapak tak agak semua macam, cuman di jarang tu betul nanti asmi semua orang itu didapatkan semua ada bahkan barang itu dapatkan semua ada, apa yang ciri-ciri sekarang buku bikin semua ada, jadi asmi semua ada sahaja apa thailand, ya pusat mana.
Thank you, Mama, for your willingness to talk to us and sending your thoughts to us. I acknowledge your work and I must thank you for all your endurance and contribution in keeping us healthy. With rapid population growth, high is the concentration of young people. The success and sustainability of efforts to create jobs for young people will depend on the future health of the ecosystem, as well as myriad of other uncertainties, and today's youth will bear the cost of failure throughout their lifetimes. Therefore, James A. Sangma, student of our college, will share his perspectives on ecosystem restoration. James, can I have you on screen?
A very good morning to all. I would like to begin with one quotation which was said none other than by Mahatma Gandhi ji, the father of our nation. I quote, "Environment is asking us not to conserve her, but for our future generation. So the reasons behind conservation of environment, restoration and recreation of ecosystem should not be limited only to us, the present generation. We should always foresee what consequences we and our future will face if we do not take care of our environment and prevent it from getting deteriorated day by day. One of the differences between the human beings and the animals is that animals change themselves for the environment, but humans change the environment for themselves. We human beings are changing, modifying, and converting the environment according to our needs and demands without the consent of environment, like clearing of forest areas for different purposes, contaminating the air, and polluting the water, which ultimately leads to ecological imbalances, deterioration of the environment, and disturbances to the ecosystem. As students, often we tend to ignore or neglect what is going on in and around us. And we are becoming very much relevant to the saying, they have mouth but cannot speak. They have eyes but cannot see. They have ear but cannot hear. Often, we may question to ourselves, what can I do to protect the environment? How can I restore the ecosystem? What differences can I bring? What will be my contribution? I'm just a student. I neither have the power nor the capability. But there goes a saying, little drops of water make a mighty ocean. Little drops of water make a mighty ocean. Each and every one of us are like that single drop of water. If every one of us contribute little by little, we can make wonders. We can change the things, we can protect the environment, and we can restore the ecosystem. We are capable in doing a change for a betterment of our environment. Our small steps towards the protection of environment can go a long way. We may not expect ourselves to do mighty difference, but together we can definitely bring a change. If all the youth of our generation can come together and work towards the restoration of environment, we are not very far from achieving the great heights in bringing back the nature's glory. The best way in which we can contribute to protect, restore, and recreate the ecosystem is by preventing the ecosystem from getting degradation. By practicing the activities like imparting knowledge to the people around us about the importance of nature in our lives, how the environment is getting deteriorated, what the danger ecosystem are facing in present days, and what consequences we, at the same time, our future generation will face if we continue to misuse, pollute, and damage the ecosystems. I believe that more than 50% of the students of our college comes from rural areas, where the literacy rate is very low, where people are not aware about environmental pollution and their role in conservation of environment. If it is so, we have a humble opportunity to play a great role using our education to contribute towards conservation, restoration, and recreation of the ecosystem by being exemplary in the localities and exercising the simple activities like planting trees. May not be a wild trees, but even some fruit trees, ornamental plants, and medicinal plants. Second can be disposing the plastic waste in proper places. If possible, reducing the use of plastic products. Using the carry bags and the baskets, which are made out of jute, bamboo, cane, or even our school bags, to bring the materials from the marketplace instead of using the polythene bags. Keeping the water bodies clean by not throwing the plastic bottles, chips and sweet wrappers, and bottles of alcoholic beverages, making the farmers of our own localities aware about the negative consequences of using chemical fertilizers and so on. Therefore, let whatever we have learned and what we are learning does not get diluted with inappropriate indulgence and vanish from our minds. Let the occasions and the celebrations like today remind us and open our eyes to see the importance of nature in our lives and help us to protect, restore, and recreate the ecosystem and the whole environment at large. Because the gifts and the blessings that nature showered on us are priceless. So let us restore them, conserve them, and protect them for a better future for our offsprings and for the coming generation. With this, I conclude. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James, for sharing your thoughts with us. Looking at youths like you, who has a lot of concern for the environment and the ecosystem, I am sure that the environment is in safe hands. Now that we have come to the end of today's program, I am assured that all of you have a lot to take away from this program. I request you all to be a part of the solution and will do your bit to restore the ecosystem. May I now request Biman Tesel R. Sangma, Assistant Professor, Department of Geography, Don Bosco College, Tura, to propose the vote of thanks and end the program. Biman.
Thank you, Madam Aksana. A very good morning to all the participants in this program. So at the very outset, I would like to thank God, our Creator, for giving us this day to reflect upon His creation and our actions on account of the World Environment Day. Gracing this occasion is our Honorable Member of Parliament, Srimati Agatha K. Sangma, who, despite her position and her busy schedule, has consented to be a part of this webinar. Thank you, ma'am.
Sabiman, we are not able to hear you. We are not able to hear you. Can you speak?
Hello.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can speak on the mic. On the mic.
A very good morning to all.
Speak on the mic if you don't use that mic you have in your earphone.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Yeah, little louder.
Yeah. At the very outset, I would like to thank God, our Creator, for giving this day to reflect upon His creation, and our gracing on His occasion is Srimati Agatha K. Sangma, who, despite her position and busy schedule, has consented to be a part of this webinar. So thank you, ma'am, for your presence and the encouragement that you have given through your speech of taking responsibility on our environment. My sincere thanks also goes to another noteworthy person, Sir Tony Travert C. Marak, who, through his wealth of experience in the Indian Forest Service and his position as the chairman of the State Environment Impact Assessment Committee, has encouraged the students and stakeholders by sharing his insights and knowledge in this program. Thank you, sir. My sincere gratitude to Professor O.P. Singh from the Department of Environmental Science, Northeastern Hill University, for his discourse on the theme of ecosystem restoration. All kinds of ecosystems can be restored, including forest, farmlands, wetlands, and oceans. And restoration initiatives can be launched by almost anyone. We have listened to the very words of those very individuals who are playing a role in the restoration process of the ecosystem. So my heartfelt thanks goes to Sri Grebar Sonyo C.H. Marak for giving an excellent coverage on problems and challenges faced in the conservation of states' forest reserves. Special thanks also goes to Sri Awal Manda Sangma, the Nokma of Rumba Adangre, for sharing his thoughts and experiences as a traditional head I also wish to extend my gratitude to Sri Simpo D. Sangma for providing encouragement through his talk. And we would also like to acknowledge our gratitude to our very own student, Sri James A. Sangma, for delivering a speech and encouragement to his fellow students on this occasion of World Environment Day. Finally, I would like to place on record our sincere thanks to our principal, Father Bivan Rodrigues Mukim, for his continuous support and guidance and leadership. I also extend my sincere thanks to the Department of Environmental Science, headed by Dr. Aksana Nia Marak, for hosting and organizing this event, and along with her team of colleagues, namely Sir Sorgeron and Madam Chichi, and all their students, for organizing this event. To all the supporting staff and the technical team who are behind this event for running it smoothly, thank you, Mr. John Satish and Sir Javelin. And last but not the least, a special thanks to all the viewers, the teachers, the students, and other professionals for being a part of this webinar. I would like to conclude my speech by saying, let us make World Environment Day every day a World Environment Day, not to celebrate, but to remind ourselves to be conscious of the needs of the environment. Thank you once again. I wish all of you a happy World Environment Day. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sir Biman. And thank you to all the participants and viewers. I wish you a very happy World Environment Day.